was your day-to-day, babe?
None of your business.
Yes, it is.
It was good.
It was a good
Actually,
day?
It was really good.
It was a really good day. I love that.
Well, you kind of got to stack the deck in your favor. It doesn't happen automatically, that's for sure.
Right, and you've had a lot of practice.
Yeah. Yep.
Which your patients and your team are grateful for because you make it look really easy.
It's super fun. And somebody accused me of that yesterday.
Having too much fun?
Having too much fun, yeah. And I'm like, well, you don't have to stay.
Well, it's really not about that, right? I mean, you've created the life of your dreams. It's something that you advocate for everybody.
I don't know. I
How
do
often
feel
do you
very fortunate.
Fortunate or blessed?
Yes.
Yes, both. How often do you have the conversation about building the life of your dream?
Indirectly or directly every day.
Yeah.
One of the things we want to learn about people is what are their goals.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you came here with this condition. Nobody comes in here saying, I feel wicked good. Can you make me better? Everybody has some things. And in all honesty, they don't come here just because they want to feel better. They come here because they want to feel better to do X, right? So it's how do I get my life back to doing X? Today I had a lady that wants to get back on her bike. She's 67. She wants to get her bicycle back out. She wants to be able to bend down and pick things out of the garden without hurting herself. So, everybody has some kind of chronic misery that they're managing, and they want it to go away. But if they don't have a good reason, then it's going to be a swing and a miss. So let's get you back in your garden. Let's get you back on your bicycle. Let's set some reasonable expectations for those things. And then let's point you in that direction.
Yeah.
And it might be with just chiropractic care. It might be with some therapeutic things. It might be they've got to change their diet or change their exercise or whatever. So the reality is everybody's just looking for somebody to coach them to get back to doing the things they want to do. And that's basically what we do every day. You and I both. We coach people on how can I get back to my best life.
Yeah. Help them build their best toolkit.
Yep.
Yeah. You ready to do a podcast?
Hello and welcome. To yet another in the exciting episode series of Living Well Together.
Big life in a small town.
Having a big life in our tiny little town. Yeah. And what I'm going to talk about today, Lisa?
Well, I thought it might be fun to talk about tea.
Yeah, but why?
Testosterone, not Terry.
Oh, I thought you meant tea like you would drink.
Oh, well, we could talk about all the teas.
Iced tea, sun tea.
I do have some favorite teas, yeah.
Yes. Well, teas, that's okay. So we're going to talk about
testosterone tea.
Hormone balance for dudes.
Hormone balance for dudes.
For dudes.
Because we don't want you to be left behind. I feel like everybody talks about hormones for ladies, right? Don't you think so?
If you think there's not such a thing as a menstrual cycle, you better think twice.
And menopause,
Yeah,
right?
menopause. We cycle through things just like you girls do. Not to the same maybe degree, but yes, there are changes that take place with time and activity. And we've talked about this before, pretty much anything that's not in ease is dis-eased.
Right.
And so anything that interrupts ease is either going to be too much of something or not enough of something. So all we're looking to do is restore ease.
Right.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Right. Yeah, but don't you feel like do you feel like you're kind of left behind in the talk about hormones? Yeah. Yeah. Men in general.
One of the things about us is we don't like talking about it.
Got it.
And if we do like talking about it, nobody wants to hang around that guy.
You mean testosterone or just health in general?
Both.
You just want to be fun.
Sometimes we'll get together and complain, oh, my aching knee, or I hurt myself doing XYZ. But nobody say, hey, my T levels, my T levels are kind of sagging behind or whatever. We don't talk about it.
Would it be fun to compare? Like everybody goes and gets their labs done and you compare to whose is the best? I mean, make it into a game? A
contest of some sort? Yeah. I don't know whether that would be helpful or beneficial in any way. I don't know. But by and large, we don't, we like keeping our business to ourselves. And
that makes sense. I mean, I think that not so much my grandparents, but I feel like your grandparents did love to talk about aches and pains.
No, when you get to a certain age, it becomes the topic of discussion. I don't care where you are.
Yeah, but we decided a long time ago.
No,
that
we don't
wasn't
do
gonna be
that.
us.
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
I could have my legs stuck in a bear trap and you would not know.
I feel great.
Yeah.
It's the best day ever.
Fine. But beyond a certain point, everybody has things that are not going as well as we wish they were.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between complaining and creating an awareness. Like, the reason I'm not going bungee jumping today is because I kind of don't feel like it's a good choice based on whatever that might be.
Right.
And so as activity levels change or just participating in life levels change, there are things I can't do that I was doing when I was 30.
Yeah.
I wish I could do them, but there's things that are not smart for me to do now.
Right.
I was on a ladder the other day fixing woodpecker holes. And on this ladder, I'm 11 feet, I think, from the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I might not should be on this ladder.
We were teasing that Honey was out there holding the ladder for you.
Somebody probably should have.
Probably should have. I didn't realize that it was that far off of the ground.
Well, it was all the way at the soffit on that side of the house. It's not a short drop.
That's where that woodpecker was?
Yeah. Yeah. We could hear him banging a hole in the side of our house. And
Honey and I tried to chase him away before you got home this weekend.
I know.
She said, "Leave Non's house alone."
It didn't work.
I know.
Because there were two perfect holes about that big drilled right into the side of the house.
It really is amazing. But they have trees all around us. Like, pick a tree.
Sure. Yeah. I don't know why they do it, but they've done it before. I've fixed a bunch of them over the course of time. But it was the first time I'm thinking to myself, I'm up here. I'm up a ways.
Right.
And the thought of dropping to the ground from that level, even if you land on your feet, is not a good experience. I'm sure of it.
No.
30 years ago, I would have thought nothing of it.
Right.
20 years ago, I would have thought nothing of it.
Because you bounce better then.
Well, I was a good bouncer.
But you also didn't fall. I did a lot more falling previously than you.
Well, there's the non-fall, yeah. The non-fall.
Yeah, and now I don't like the idea of falling either.
So part of that is about energy level. Part of that is about desire to participate in different things. And all of it has to do with not just libido, but it has to do with muscular strength. It has to do with tone. It has to do with motivation and mood and how you're metabolizing things.
Right, exactly. I titled this episode, Strong, Steady, and Stoked. Regenerative wellness for men.
Okay.
But talking about the difference between vitality and virility, because everybody thinks that virility is sexuality.
Okay.
And that's not.
I hope that goes down sometime soon. Because man.
Remember, Grandma's here. We don't want to embarrass him.
If that ever goes away, you can just put me in a box. I don't care.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
I don't see it happening.
But part of that is because you do a lot of different things to stay strong, right? And it's part of virility is being able to live with strength and legacy and conviction.
Okay.
That's all part of that story too.
Vim and vigor.
Vim and vigor, yeah. So
that's so funny. Somebody this weekend, I was at a conference and somebody said something about piss and vinegar. Like I used to be full of piss and vinegar, and now I'm just full of piss. like my get up and go, got up and went.
That's sad.
And I'm like, yeah, that's why I said, I'm like, bro, you're too young for that.
I know, because that's that health span, lifespan thing, right? Because we don't want lifespan if we can't have the health to go along with it. But like you were saying, testosterone isn't just about libido. It's about the motivation. It's not becoming apathetic. That's part of why I have seen men go on testosterone. It's because they would find themselves just not caring.
You lose muscle mass and you lose strength. It's way harder to keep muscle and not lose strength. And that starts actually for some guys at 30. Like when you can see kind of maybe your hairline is thinning or your love handles are getting a little tougher to manage, or you're craving certain food that actually some foods are really estrogenic.
They are.
And so, and then you look at things like personal care products.
Yeah.
Does my deodorant matter? Do those dryer sheets matter? All that stuff that wrecks the endocrine system, testosterone being part of that system, is going to change your level of masculine vigor. And then you have cultural things, sociological things, where they say, well, masculinity is toxic. Well, no.
No, it's not. It's the way.
Idiocy is toxic. Are there toxic men? Yes, there are. Is it because they're masculine? No, it's because they're idiots. That's not the same conversation.
It's not. God wants men to be men.
Men need to be men.
Yeah.
And they need to be strong, and they need to be able to protect, and they need to be able to provide. And they need to be, there's a certain role, even biblically, that says, here's what dudes are for.
Yeah.
But also here's what the feminine is for.
Yeah.
So there's, each has a purpose.
That's a balance.
And figuring out a way to keep it healthy and strong is where we're at today.
Yeah. So it really surprised me as I was doing this research to find that testosterone started to drop at 30.
Yes.
Do you think that that's new because of the endocrine disruptors in our society?
I think it's accelerated because of that.
Okay. Because I'm thinking back to like when you were 30.
Yeah.
I'm like, you had...
I was in shape of my life.
More testosterone,
Yeah.
I feel like, then.
And again, to be fair, we don't do things exactly the way everybody else does things. Supplement-wise, do we always make sure we get vitamins and nutrients? Do we supplement them if we need to? The answer is yes. Do we do some blood work occasionally that says, here's what's high, here's what's low, and here's what you need to fix? The answer is yes.
Right.
So, keeping care of things is not necessarily encouraged in our society. Most people don't go to the doctor until something's wrong. Or they don't maintain their health until something is clearly not balanced.
It's true, yeah.
People will brush their teeth whether they hurt or not, but they won't get their blood work done, or they won't do their exercise, or they won't get their nerve systems checked. They won't maintain their health. They'll wait until something's wrong, and then they'll go some doctor way to get it restored if they can. So part of that's just mindset and awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. On the TV, you hear about low T, and, so it is a conversation that's happening. And I think it's probably more prevalent. I don't know if you see it in your practice very much. Women need testosterone too. A lot of them don't realize that. So this has been something with telewellness, introducing their HRT program, that I've gotten to see lots of really cool labs.
Right.
And it's very interesting to see the different balances and how you can finesse it just gently, microdosing with hormones, the way we did with GLP-1s, to make a huge difference.
And the operative word there is microdosing. It's not a lifetime thing. It's a get it back on check.
Yeah.
Check it periodically if you need to.
Right.
But it's all measurable. You don't have to guess. You can say with blood work, here's what's going on, and here's what yet needs to go on.
Yeah. And then also making those dietary changes, because I just wanted to circle back about the estrogenic foods, because these are things that if people are struggling with low T and don't want to do testosterone or something like that, they can just watch their diet.
Well, yeah, you don't have to add testosterone, but you do have to subtract estrogenic things.
Right.
Soy.
Exactly. Yes.
If you're a dude and you're eating soy, you're basically asking for estrogen.
Yeah.
Soy milk, soy latte, whatever. It's like, your testosterone is going to take a beating because your estrogen levels are going so high. What are some other high estrogenic?
So seeds and legumes. So flax seeds, sesame seeds, dried fruits. Some of the whole grains like oats, barley, and rye.
Wait a minute. All the things that you've been told are healthy could be estrogenic?
They can be, yeah. And that's not a problem if
as long as it's in balance.
As long as you have good detox pathways. There's so many nuances and ways to finesse hormones.
Yes.
Because whole grains are also really good for you.
In some ways.
Yeah.
But also in balance. If you looked at the food pyramid, though, you would think grains were the bomb diggity.
Well, yes, we need to invert the food pyramid. We can do another episode on that another time.
So the foundational things in the food pyramid are kind of fictional when it comes to managing health and well-being.
Yeah. And nuts are too, not as much as flax and soy, but nuts are also an issue. But beer
is so estrogenic.
Is very estrogenic.
It's so delicious, though.
And especially IPAs. So if you have
hops,
to have
the more estrogen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
So being careful
and that's why you can tell. You can look at men and women, frankly.
Yep.
And you can tell who enjoys more beer than is healthy just by the softness of their appearance or the roundness of their appearance. It's also inflammatory.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Phytoestrogens are going to be things that are going to cause hot flashes.
Yeah.
They're also going to be a challenge with bone health, things like that too. So yeah, it's not just about testosterone or hormones.
No.
But it's
well, and then everybody thinks, well, if I have all this beer, I'm just going to get on the treadmill. Or if I have all this beer, I'm just going to work out more or sweat more or whatever. And the reality is your workout, your cardio increases cortisol levels, which changes then your ability to metabolize and produce testosterone, which changes, that's a fight or flight hormone.
Yeah.
Which changes blood sugar, changes cardiac function. So yeah, working out is stressful to the body, and it produces stressful hormones, which makes it hard to get rid of that pudge.
I would need to do more of a deep dive for men, but for women over the age of 50, as far as the way they exercise, it needs to change dramatically.
Yes.
Women that are used to working out every day of the week, hard lifting, 30 to 45 minutes a day, that is too much because of what you said about the adrenals.
It changes adrenal function. It changes, and muscles need recovery time.
They need
the
recovery
purpose
time.
of a workout is to break down tissue, and the purpose of recovery time is to let the tissue repair. That's how you get stronger and bigger, or whatever your fitness goals might be.
But it's also important to do some lifting, even if they're 3-pound weights.
There needs to be resistance
there
training.
There needs to be resistance. But it just, again, it just needs to be a balance. And you have to experiment with yourself. See what works for you.
Well, you got to try something different. The guarantee is if you keep doing what you've been doing, you'll keep getting what you got now, right? So if you want a different outcome, whether it's with your blood work or with your physical appearance or with how strong you are, if you want a different outcome, the guarantee is you got to change something. And here's another fun thing. When you look at, just hormone balance in general and energy levels in general, there's a part of the cell called the mitochondria. Mitochondria are in every cell in the body, and there's somewhere between hundreds and 1,000 mitochondria in a cell that's so small you can't even see it. But their job is to produce energy. And so anything that you do that produces mitochondrial stimulation on a cellular level, this was at my conference this weekend.
Oh, cool.
Cold laser therapy is pinpoint
interesting.
to stimulate mitochondrial function in cells, which just accelerates the natural healing, restoration, repair, and energy process for whatever cells you pointed at.
Interesting. So if you wanted less brain fog, would you use the laser on the brain?
Yes.
Okay. If you wanted
if you wanted your appendix to do a better job, could you use it there? If you wanted your sinuses to be less,
but what about just energy overall? What about just needing more energy?
Again, anything mitochondrial is anything that inhibits mitochondrial function or suppresses it will take energy away from the system. Anything that stimulates mitochondrial function is going to be beneficial energy-wise. So some nutrient stuff, coenzyme Q10, your B vitamins, NAD is becoming a big popular thing.
And that's something that you and I use injectable
periodically.
every day.
I should probably use it more.
I use it almost every day. Actually, we don't have very much left. I'll order some more.
But and we, the cold laser that we have, the FX, it's the FX635, I think.
Yeah.
Is programmable for a variety of different locations, areas, and conditions. But all of it revolves around different levels of light reaching different levels of cellular function on different levels of tissue to stimulate mitochondrial stuff. So it just accelerates the body's ability to recover.
So from a testosterone standpoint, then that would be good for that too?
Yes. Well, either directly or indirectly.
Okay.
It's only going to be beneficial either directly or indirectly. So anything you can do to inject more energy into the system means it's wasting less energy on something else.
Okay. Because, in the notes here, it's talking about overtraining raises cortisol, which tanks testosterone.
Yes. Yeah, stress hormones tank testosterone, period.
Okay.
So if you spend more time in fight or flight than you do in rest and digest, your hormone levels don't have the capacity to recover.
And balance.
And that's why that's why some people are 60 years older and they look 80.
Yeah.
Their skin shows it, their eyes show it, their energy level shows it.
Yeah.
As I say that, my eyes twitching. Well, I'm still bouncing back.
It actually looks really good though. I wanted to show you that. It's
a little corneal surgery a couple of weeks ago, so I'm still in what the heck mode.
Recovery mode. But so you kind of hit on the micro workouts and how important that can be. You're still getting the workouts, but they don't have to be so intense.
Oh gosh, no. Nor do you need fancy equipment.
No, I know.
Body weight squats, body weight push-ups, body stretching, some really very basic things that create some resistance in the system. You don't have to have fancy clothes. You don't have to have any equipment. You don't have to leave your bedroom if you don't want to. And so, but introducing mobility and some resistance training will always be smart. Start with a push-up.
I know it doesn't have to be fancy, but I found these amazing weights that look like sculptures. And so I'm like, oh, I need to know more about these. So I might have to put the link in the notes because they are cool. They look really neat. But
if
you don't need to be fancy.
If you don't have weights, you can lift, soup cans.
Absolutely.
You can take an old purse or two and put some canned goods in your purse. And now you have resistance. The stretchy bands, the flexible little...
rubber bands.
There's 100 ways that don't cost a ton of money.
Yeah.
But all it takes is a mindset change.
Absolutely. Yeah.
None of this is going to be applicable if you don't let your brain say, okay, I got to get better at what I'm doing. Moving on.
Yep. So libido and performance, not just the bedroom.
Okay.
So
here's the weird thing about that, I think. Because if you watch television, they'll show you the middle-aged couple that are holding hands in separate bathtubs because he's got this new drug that gets his ED under control. And so...
I missed this one.
No, it's like Cialis or one of those.
No, I mean, I missed the commercial.
Well, then you got to watch more television. But yeah, all those commercials are designed to talk about erectile dysfunction as though it's the problem.
Right.
So you can take this drug to override your erectile challenge.
Yeah.
And what you're missing is the erectile challenge is the body's way of saying, don't do that.
Yes.
Because either your cardiovascular system or some other part of you is not strong enough to engage in that activity. That's why you see these guys. And what else will they say on those commercials, though? Call your doctor if you have an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Do you know what sells that drug? That line.
Oh.
4 hours? Yes, please. And so people buy it.
Oh my gosh. 4 hours.
But that's also where you'll see people having a heart attack.
Right.
Because they're engaged in some vigorous activity that says your body was telling you don't do that and you overrode the system.
Yeah.
It was also designed first as a blood pressure medicine. All those erectile drugs were designed as BP meds. And so, they do the trials. And what happened was they said, how'd it go? And they said, well, my blood pressure didn't change. But I did notice this. And so they're like, oh, no blood pressure change. Okay, send it back. And the dudes were like, no, I think I'm going to keep it. And so they just relabeled it as something that helps that. And then all the women were like, oh my gosh, he's going to keep it. Please send it back.
But it's also the woman's responsibility to check her own hormones. So she can keep up.
It's a two-party system.
It is. But so what you're saying is that the loss of libido is the body's SOS system?
Yes.
I need something somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're losing the desire to be, mate with your partner, then something's in the way. Mm-hmm. And there are natural ways to go about that. From a chiropractic standpoint, do you treat erectile? No. But have we seen people get their virility back?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if your brain and your parts aren't talking, then the function is compromised. So the goal is restore function of the nerve system.
Right.
We want to make sure the motor's running properly. If we restore the motor and that's still an issue, that's when we look at some supplemental things or we take out some estrogenic nutrients that you're taking on. But first things first, you got to make sure the nerve system is running. Everybody thinks the solution is going to be something that you have to take to override the system.
Yeah.
And it's not about an override. It's about a reset.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like what we've been talking about for months now as far as metabolic dysfunction. It's just all part of that same story, right? Yes. And that's just one of the symptoms. And so there's like we talked about earlier, there's just some basic nutrients like zinc, magnesium. What are you laughing about?
Nothing. You heard it, nothing.
Boron, which boron is actually really good for
boron
prostate,
will turn
right?
your pee electric yellow. Bright yellow. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, so that's the fun side of boron, but it has this function where it can help prostate, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But also vitamin D. Vitamin D is something that people just it's underutilized and underappreciated, I think.
Vitamin D has hormone properties much more than it does vitamin properties, I think.
Yeah. And it has to be with K2 though. It has to be taken with K2. Right. And we've seen amazing results using the Symbiotica D with K2 and CoQ10.
Yes.
Really change the numbers.
Measurable blood level change.
Right. Yeah. That's really that's almost the only way that you can know for sure where your D is. But there's other things like the arginine, pine bark extract for blood flow, and pelvic floor exercise. We talked about that.
This is so funny. Well, yeah, because what do you guys call that, you women? Those are Kegels.
Yes.
Kegel exercises.
But they are for men too.
So much. Well, and again, part of the conversation, guys don't like to talk about things in a serious way. But if, for example, because one of the things we do is periodically we'll urinate in the great outdoors. You know what I'm saying? We're going to pee outside. If you don't pee outside once in a while, you ain't living, right? But if you're doing that and then a car comes or traffic or somebody's on the path or something on the trail, well, you got to be able to shut your pee off and not look like you're peeing, right? You got to be able to stop.
Retract.
And mid-flow, you got to be able to shut it off if you need to. But if you can't.
Are you guys hearing this?
That's how you know you need to do pelvic floor exercises.
Interesting. So that's
a
what
muscular
turns the flow off?
Yes, you should be able to stop peeing if you want to. You need to be able to pee freely.
Okay.
But if you can't turn it, if you can't pinch it down without, if you can't do it with no hands, it's a bad day.
Wow.
But that's how you know that you need to do pelvic floor stuff.
So now is everybody going to go outside and see what happens?
So I was fishing with a friend, right? So we're out in the woods and you got to get out of the boat and take a whiz. And then, but suddenly another boat was coming by and it would have been obvious that I may have been, out of the boat taking a whiz. And so I shut it off. That boat went by, finished things up, got back in my boat. And my buddy's like, how'd you do that? I'm like, what do you mean? How'd you get your pee to stop? I said, you just stop it. You can't do that. And it's like, well, then we got to talk about your nutrients and your pelvic floor. So yeah, and again,
how
it takes
do you
certain
do
things.
that?
Well, when you're 30, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
When you're not 30, it becomes more of an issue because that's a muscular thing. That's a volunteer muscle. So anyway,
so
nutrient stuff. There's a little sidebar.
So for hormone support, when it comes to testosterone, Tomcat Alley is an excellent one. It's kind of well known too. In combination with ashwagandha to support the adrenals, which also
and
has a DHEA.
Is another one that we want.
Tribulus is really, it's not so much directly testosterone; it's more about circulation,
vascular flow.
Yes. So that's a good combination to have in there. From a regenerative injectable therapy standpoint. BPC157 or PDA peptide is really
and that's going to show up in your news feed if you're listening to this in the car or with your cellular phone. As we talk about some of this stuff, you're going to see your feed change for sure.
For sure. So we talk about this a lot between you and I, as far as from a not necessarily testosterone perspective, but just being intimate perspective. When we have a ton of drawers open, so that mental component.
Mental drawers.
Yes, mental drawers.
Yeah, like a big dresser.
Yes.
Like I've got this drawer, this drawer, this drawer. And it's a work, it's a family, it's a business, it's a get the car fixed, it's a pool needs done. There's always 100 reasons to be distracted, which takes away from your desire to be, just connected.
Okay, I like it. I was like, what is he going to say?
Yeah, that might be another one where it's like.
But also on the flip side of that, low testosterone and inflammation can impact mental clarity.
Oh, for sure.
Which then impacts emotional stability.
Okay.
Which then impacts your desire to have sex with your partner.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of works.
Or anybody else for that matter. I could not let that go.
The joke that you told me the other day.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
I don't even remember which one it was, but I don't want to talk about it.
It was the one about the golf clubs.
No. I told some people about that today in the office.
That you told me the joke?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I just let them believe that I was the joke. Like we had that conversation. Well, would you let him live in my house? Would you let him drive my car?
Well, now you got to finish the joke.
No, never mind. Keep going. We got a few more points to cover.
We got a few more. Okay,
off to the races.
So some of the things for regenerative supports for mental clarity and mood would be some omegas, Symbiotica's magnesium complex, dihexapeptide, which is a prescription, but it's amazing for helping brain function and neuroplasticity.
Kind of like putting jumper cables back on your neuroplastic stuff.
Yep. So neurogenesis with lion's mane too. That's a mushroom. And then, back to the basics, like regular prayer time.
Yes.
breathing.
Just taking yourself out of the flow of traffic for a while and getting just, back to the basics.
And for men, I think it's just as important for them to connect to their purpose.
Okay.
Making sure that they're still in alignment there, because your purpose might change over time.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. And where you fit in the world. There's some other regenerative therapies that I can put in the notes, but we don't have to go over them today.
Okay.
There's a copper peptide that's really good for hair growth and skin regeneration. That's an injectable therapy too. But let's see, virility in fatherhood at any age. That's a scary thought.
Why?
Because can you imagine if we had babies at this point?
What's a few more Father's Day cards? No, I cannot. We would give them to our kids to raise.
So that's the emotional side of aging, and just kind of combining our purpose and our health and how they intertwine.
And we've said this as long as we've known each other. The reality is you're going to get older. The question is not will you get older. The question is how well. That's why our brand, everything in our brand, from my office to your businesses, revolve around living well. The question is not are you going to live. The question is how well.
Yeah.
And are you going to intentionally create a life that you're happy with and fulfilled by? And is it vital? Is it productive? And not that we're not on the go all the time. We do things that are designed for laying low and relaxing and taking ourselves out of the mainstream. But part of that too is just about being as productive. I always think of it like how tall will a tree grow?
Yeah.
Well, as tall as it can. Given the amount of sunlight and the amount of water and the amount of wind and the amount of rain, whatever. But your life should be as productive and fulfilling as it can. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
No,
I've been wrong before.
I agree 100%. So not surviving longer.
Yeah, I don't want to live long if it's miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. Just living stronger.
Just run into the woods with a bearskin coat. Those days are gone.
So you touched on already about the toxin-free things and the endocrine disruptors and stuff. And so it really is important that men are aware of what's in their medicine cabinet. If you're wearing
Axe body spray or any kind of perfumey, lotiony trash,
even
it is wrecking
cream,
your testosterone system.
All the colognes, a lot of the sunscreens that are just chemical sunscreens, they're deodorants, they are all
fluoride.
Silent hormone
fluoride. If you're drinking water that's not being filtered, or here's a weird thing, read the back of your toothpaste tube. Do you know what it says? Harmful if swallowed. You're brushing your teeth with it, but it's harmful if swallowed. Why do you think that is? Do some homework.
Yeah.
But the reality is those are things that are changing our chemistry. Your deodorant, your soap, these are all things that are designed to demasculinize people. And so, and we won't go into why, and we won't go into the how.
No, we don't have to go into the political side of it.
It's not even political.
The spiritual
it's just
side.
Evil versus good.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if you're using products that are sabotaging your well-being, that's when you start looking outside of yourself to say, okay, I need some prescription medicine or I need whatever. Get back to some really basic things.
Yeah. So for you use Crunchy Body Bar in the shower?
Yep.
Your deodorant is
Schmidt's, I think.
Schmidt's
with
and
charcoal instead of
no
and there's
fragrance.
magnesium instead of aluminum and no fragrance.
Right.
I don't think. Yeah, there's no fragrance.
And then you don't use any hair products anymore, do you?
I use
your control
some
paste.
Aveda control paste or something like that,
Yeah.
which is not best. It used to be good.
It used to be best.
That company
but
was
it's
bought
not,
by a mega corporation, and so now it's a little bit less.
Do you want
than
to experiment
desirable.
with a different kind?
Yeah, I think I'm going to just shave my head.
No. You have glorious hair.
Got it.
And then your skincare. You use a daylight moisturizer from Crunchy.
Again, it's toxin free. Keep it soft.
Yeah, but you're a pretty low maintenance guy.
I pride myself on being low maintenance.
Wait a minute, what kind of toothpaste do you use?
Bronner's.
Okay.
Dr. Bronner's.
Peppermint.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's been, when the girls were little even, we all had our own toothpaste. Yeah. No, we didn't. We never shared a toothpaste tube. Everybody had their own.
Yep.
I love that. I don't know why we ever did that.
Kind of bougie, but okay.
It's kind of bougie. Everybody liked a different kind though.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, that's fine. We can do that.
Well, it's also part of it was just letting them participate in some of their own life decisions, I don't like mint. Okay, get cinnamon. I don't like cinnamon. Okay, get the licorice
Banana,
flavored.
strawberry, yeah.
Right, whatever.
No, yeah. So really, I mean, that is what we wanted to talk about today is some testosterone and hormone replacement if necessary. One of the things with different hormone replacements, it's done a number of different ways. Sometimes testosterone is delivered by pellets under the skin. And the challenge with that, there's not a natural rhythm for that to be dispersed into the body.
It just is kind of a dump.
So finding ways like injectable therapies are probably the best for that. Because you can monitor it and you can adjust it as you go.
Exactly. And so you do some blood work and you say, where's it at in the spectrum? Yeah. Where is it? And more importantly than adding products is subtracting things that suck the life out of you.
Try that first. And then if that doesn't work for you, then add the next thing. And start with supplements. And then if supplements don't get it done, then go to the next level.
Right. Good, better, best.
I have a guide that's about the 3 stages of metabolic dysfunction, and it really helps to pinpoint where you are. So if you're already at level 3, then maybe jumping to regenerative therapies is smart.
I was going to say, it depends on where you're starting in the game.
Depends on
where
you're
already way behind the curve, injectable therapies will help get you back in front of the curve.
So you do that, and then you taper off, and then you go to the gentler versions.
Right.
So yeah, there's always ways, but it's finding a good guide.
A 4-alarm fire requires way more water than a cigarette.
100%. Yeah. Well, thanks for talking about this with me today.
Oh,
babe.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I'm glad your tea is good.
Yeah, it is good, actually.
It is good. It's excellent. Yeah.
There's a lot of things I can fix, but that ain't one of them.
I love you.
I love you back. So next time. Do we have a next time plan, or should we just tell them what we want them to do? Yeah,
we just want them to follow, subscribe, like, share.
Send this to somebody who needs to hear it. Send this to your man. You men, you don't like talking.
Yeah, if you know somebody that needs to learn a little bit about testosterone without being dumped on.
It's the original San Francisco treat, testosterone.
You're full of them.
I gotta go.
Okay, see you. Bye.
Bye.
I gotta go. I gotta go right now. Good job, babe. That was easy.